The rain had been falling for 4 days straight. In Portland, that wasn't exactly headline news, but for Ethan Carter, it had started to feel like a curse. Every drop against the windowpane sounded like a ticking clock, a reminder of something he couldn't quite name, something quietly unraveling in his life. It was a Thursday morning when he first noticed it, not the rain, but the distance. His wife, Claire, stood at the kitchen counter, stirring her coffee with slow, absent motions. The steam rose between them, curling in delicate shapes that dissolved before they reached his side of the table. She wasn't looking at him, she hadn't been, not really, for weeks. "Morning," Ethan said softly, closing his laptop. "You're up early." Claire nodded, still not looking. "Couldn't sleep." "You've been saying that a lot lately." She smiled, the kind of smile people give when they want to avoid a real answer. "Work's been crazy. I think it's just stress." Ethan wanted to believe her. God, he wanted to believe her. They'd been married for 8 years, solid, comfortable years, the kind people post about online with matching flannel pajamas and pumpkin patches. But lately, something invisible had crept between them, something fragile and sharp-edged. He noticed little things first. Her phone face down on the table. A new perfume, light, citrusy, that wasn't her usual scent. The way she lingered in front of the mirror before leaving for late meetings. She used to text him funny memes during lunch. Now, her replies came hours later, dry and polite. Like talking to a stranger. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep either. He lay awake beside her, watching the ceiling fan carve slow, uneven circles in the dark. Claire's phone buzzed on the nightstand, faint and fast, a vibration that shouldn't have mattered. But it did. She didn't move. Didn't even flinch. He turned slightly, enough to see the soft glow lighting up the screen. A name flashed, just long enough to burn itself into his mind. Alex. No last name. Just Alex. The next morning, he told himself it was nothing. Work friend. College buddy. A name from her yoga class. He had no reason to doubt her, except for that quiet, relentless ache in his chest that said he already knew. He decided to play it cool. Asked questions carefully, half joking. "So who's Alex?" She didn't even blink. "New hire at the agency. Graphic designer." "Why?" Ethan smiled. "No reason." But there was a reason. The way her tone flattened. The way she avoided his eyes. The way her phone vibrated again just a moment later. Portland in late October was a postcard of gray skies and dying leaves. Ethan worked as a project manager for a construction firm downtown, a steady, dependable man with a steady, dependable life, until the cracks started showing. He used to love his morning drive, the coffee in his travel mug, the local radio humming, the skyline peeking through the mist. Now, every red light gave him time to think too much. He started remembering things he'd ignored. The sudden gym membership she'd bought last spring. The secretive smile she'd worn when reading her messages. The way she locked her phone, something she never used to do. Still, he didn't confront her. Not yet. He told himself he needed proof, or maybe just courage. 2 weeks later, the proof arrived on its own. Ethan came home early one Friday, a project meeting had been cancelled, and he thought he'd surprise her. The house was quiet, lights dimmed. Claire's car sat in the driveway, which meant she was home. "Claire," he called, stepping inside. No answer. He heard faint laughter upstairs. Soft. Intimate. Followed by a whisper he couldn't make out. His heart stuttered. He moved up the staircase slowly, each step like a drumbeat in his chest. The door to their bedroom was half closed, and through the narrow gap, he saw it, not a scene of flesh, but worse. Claire sitting on the bed, her voice low, her expression alive in a way he hadn't seen in months. She was on a video call, smiling, glowing, even. On the screen, a man's face appeared, dark hair, easy grin, the kind that could talk his way through walls. "God, I wish you were here," she said. "I will be," the man replied. "Soon." Ethan froze. Something inside him went silent, cold, measured, not rage, not shock, just the quiet understanding that the woman he loved was already gone. That night, he didn't say a word. He waited until she went to bed, pretending to sleep while she scrolled through her phone. He memorized the rhythm of her breathing, the scent of that new perfume, and the distance that felt like a canyon between them. At 2 a.m., while she slept, he got out of bed, took her phone from the nightstand, and stepped into the bathroom. His reflection looked foreign, eyes hollow, mouth tight. The passcode was easy, her birthday. It opened. The messages hit him like a blade. "Alex, I can still taste you." "Claire, stop. You'll make me crazy." "Alex, you already are." "Claire, when are you coming back to Portland?" "Alex, soon. Booked a flight for next weekend." Ethan stared at the screen until the words blurred. His chest burned, not from betrayal, but from the unbearable clarity that came with it. The next week crawled by in slow motion. Claire acted normal, maybe too normal. She laughed more at dinner, touched his arm occasionally, even suggested watching a movie together. Guilt, he realized. He didn't let on that he knew. He went through the motions, work, small talk, fake smiles. But inside, something began to form, not forgiveness, not sadness, but a quiet, deliberate plan. Saturday arrived. Claire said she had a team event in the city, dinner and drinks with coworkers. She wore a black dress Ethan hadn't seen in years, lipstick a shade darker than usual. "You look great," he said calmly. She smiled, almost shyly. "Thanks, babe. Don't wait up." He watched her leave. Waited 10 minutes. Then grabbed his jacket and keys. He followed her. The city lights blurred through the rain as he trailed her car along Burnside Avenue. His hands gripped the wheel, steady but cold. She turned into a hotel parking lot, the kind of place for business travelers and secrets. The Riverstone Suites. She parked. He waited. 5 minutes later, another car arrived, a dark gray Audi. Alex. They met under the awning, just beyond the reach of the rain. She smiled, that same smile she hadn't given Ethan in months, and when the man kissed her, she didn't hesitate. Ethan sat in silence, watching the two of them disappear into the lobby. He didn't burst in. Didn't scream. Didn't do anything reckless. Instead, he waited, and when she came home hours later, makeup slightly smudged, he was already in bed, pretending to sleep. She slid quietly under the covers, the scent of another man still faint on her skin. He stared at the ceiling, counting each breath. The next morning, he made her coffee, same as always. "Sleep well?" he asked. "Yeah," she said softly. "You? Like a baby." He smiled. She didn't notice the tremor in his hands. That afternoon, he called a lawyer. Divorce in Oregon wasn't complicated, not if you had evidence. And he had plenty, messages, photos, dates, everything neatly documented. But revenge wasn't just about ending the marriage. He wanted her to feel it, to realize what she'd destroyed. He started moving money quietly, opening a separate account. Cancelled joint credit cards. Transferred the title of their second car. Each act was small, precise, almost surgical. When he finally confronted her, it wasn't with shouting or rage, it was worse. They sat in the living room, the gray afternoon light cutting through the blinds. "Claire," he said calmly, "I know about Alex." She froze. Her coffee cup clinked against the saucer. What are you talking about?" "I followed you last weekend." "The Riverstone Suites." Her mouth opened, then closed. Ethan, it's not what you think. He laughed, short and bitter. No. Then what is it, exactly? A strategy meeting with your coworker? Pillow talk about marketing? Tears filled her eyes. Please. I made a mistake. He stood. No. You made a choice. The silence that followed was heavy, almost sacred. Outside, the rain started again, soft against the windows, the same rhythm that had been haunting him for weeks. She reached for him. Ethan, I love you. He stepped back. You loved the version of me who didn't know. The divorce papers came a month later. Claire moved out, taking only her clothes and a few books. Alex didn't last, Ethan knew that much from mutual friends. The affair burned bright and fast, like all things built on lies. But the damage lingered. He kept the house, though he couldn't stand the silence. Every room felt haunted by echoes, her laughter, her perfume, the memory of trust. One evening, he found her wedding ring in a drawer, hidden under old receipts. For a moment, he almost smiled. Then he placed it on the windowsill, where the rain could wash against the glass behind it. Months passed. Ethan learned to live with quiet. He started running again, joined a weekend hiking group, met people who didn't know his story. Sometimes he still thought of Claire, not with anger, but with a kind of distant sorrow. Because love, he realized, doesn't die when someone betrays you. It fades, slowly, painfully, until one day, you wake up and the memory feels like a dream. It was spring again when he saw her, by chance, at a cafe downtown. She was alone, stirring her coffee the same absent way she had that morning long ago. Their eyes met briefly. She smiled, small and uncertain. He nodded politely, then turned back to his book. For the first time in a year, the sound of rain didn't bother him.